Welcome back to Off the Rails with Chaos and Kram.
I am Chaos.
And of course, I am Kram. And we got a good episode today. So just be careful because there might be some spoilers. We're going to talk about Stranger Things, the P. Diddy trial, and Netflix as a whole.
That's it.
So if you don't want to hear something that you're not caught up on, click off right now. But come back, please.
Please, yeah, come back.
But we were just talking about it off the air, and Stranger Things was a big hit.
Yes.
Whether you liked it or not.
So good, dude.
I read somewhere that they spent almost $500 million in production for like CGI and editing and all that kind of stuff for the show, and that's impressive. Netflix is really they're pushing through with like spending money on high quality performances.
Well, it's funny too because all of the major entertainment companies, your Amazon Primes, your Disney Plus, Netflix included, all definitely changed their demographic of pumping content when a lot of the stuff that we had growing up of local channels like that is local. Anything is still there, but let's be real. We all tend to do what? Download the apps. We all have Netflix on our phone. We all have Disney on our phone, Amazon Prime, etc. So Hulu, etc. So with all that being said, now it's all like competitive under their umbrella. And now, I don't know if you knew this, ever since ESPN and other, entities of, that, and also just sports as a whole, now that's up for grabs. So, we just watched one of the playoffs on Amazon Prime last night. Oh. And, and then on the flip side, who didn't enjoy the fight with Jake Paul on Netflix? Yeah. So Netflix is really killing it.
So Netflix just bought Warner Brothers Studios, which includes HBO Max and the DC.
What?
And you're a big DC guy.
DC, Marvel, anything that's comics.
Do you have DC on right now? I'm
okay, hold on, guys. I don't want you to get them. This is Marvel.
I was looking. I said I didn't. I couldn't tell.
It's Deadpool.
I couldn't tell. But look at the. Now I can. Now that you pointed out.
See what I deal with, man. I'm sorry.
I like Batman. Okay. And the Superman. I growing up younger, I was a Superman guy, and then I returned to the Batman guy, and of course.
Okay.
But of course now Deadpool's up top list tier. Okay. I'm excited about the Wolverine crossover, X-Men crossover coming up, and
I heard about that.
Some of the movies, but we're not talking about this.
Sorry. See,
we're talking about Netflix.
Off the rails. You should put something every time every episode just off the rails.
I'll forget. I'll get lazy in production and not think about it. But no, let's get back to it. Netflix dropped 2 big shows in the last few months of last year, and that was the Diddy documentary,
yes,
and Stranger Things,
yes.
Let's go with the Stranger Things. We'll come back to the Diddy documentary. We haven't really been drinking.
It's been a while, folks. It's been a while. We promise that we'll do better in our content. I promise.
So you're caught up. You watched all the episodes. Big finale there.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question, and I want to see if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Are you a believer?
Ooh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I want to say I do. Help me out here.
Okay. So there was people didn't believe that was the actual final episode, and that it was all Vecna controlling it.
And
they're like, there's a lot. Like if you watch this scene, you'll see this, and there's really a 9th episode coming, and it's coming on this date. And I was like, you guys are so stupid. I still checked to make sure it didn't drop.
So I wasn't a believer. I was more of wanting to believe, if that makes sense. Because if you've seen, spoiler alerts, and so I'm not going to divulge too much. But if you've seen all of the series of, the last season, they did a really good job, honestly. And so you felt like, okay, some of us get upset with season finales because they leave you guessing. Yeah. We can go down a whole rabbit hole of that. Marco Polo, you know what I'm talking about, too. And also you have shows like this where everything was kind of resolved in a sense. Something happened, someone died, whatever, and at least you have resolved. So you felt, at least for me, I felt at ease of saying, okay, it ended and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So then for you to now hear these little
people are going nuts.
Opinions. Yeah.
People are going nuts.
Dude, our whole family set up a whole time. Like, okay, 8:30 and we had popcorn and everything. We're ready to go. And my son's like, Dad is not coming on. I was like, oh my God, they got us.
You thought that?
Yeah, we thought that it was.
So you were a believer then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was more like I wanted to believe because we were already okay with it ending and how it ended. So,
but it would have been a cool, like,
it would have been cool.
Oh wow, you tricked us. Now, I think the problem is, and we're going to sound old here. It's like we come from a different generation of accepting things and how they are. Right
there, yep.
Right, we don't need this. Like the satisfaction for us is just being able to enjoy the show and how it was presented to us. And we have all kinds of content from when we were younger that was either crap or good.
Yeah.
But we just enjoyed the fact that it was there.
It kind of reminds me of like, okay, with Marvel, they did a really good job in their first phase or second phase when they did the whole Avengers series where, I know those movies, I still think it's a good example where what happens, you'll have the movie, great action, whatever, and then what do? You'll have two different types of ending credits for teasers.
Yeah.
The movie's over. They go through the first line of credits, then they show a little teaser. Sweet. Then, if it was really intense, you go through all the credits and then you get something special for the segue into the Avengers or something else. Yeah. That's okay. Now, when you have a TV series that was 10 years running and
not any fault of their own.
Yeah, and you spent all this money to make the last season phenomenal, which it was, and then we accept that it's over. Then you want to say,
well, that, and then just people are just finding so many critiques and trying to find all the loopholes. And I'll see people post stuff like, well, this didn't really happen. It's like, dude, were you not really watching? Because they did answer that question.
Yeah, they answered that, dude.
And obviously you were playing on your phone and not paying attention to the show. And that's part of the issue too. Like when me and my wife watched the last season, the only thing that I did, because this is just me, is I put a puzzle together while watching it.
Nice.
Because that's just, instead of having the cell phone, I had something to do.
Did you have the Stranger Things puzzle?
No, I had a cat puzzle. It had like 8 different cats, and they're all like...
Just continue, bro.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
But my point is, you got people that are just so connected to having to have all the answers because of the society we live in, and you have access to Google and AI, and you just know what's happening all the time. Instead of just accepting the fact that you might not know. The whole show could have been them just playing the game, and none of that really happened. Yeah. And how they ended that could have been and the reason why they were crying isn't because everything really happened, but because they're sad that the game's over.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it.
And again, a little spoiler alert there, but what I kind of got from that
if you're watching at this point and I'm giving you a spoiler, that's on you.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? Cheers to that. It's not our fault. Wait, man. Oh.
Can't cheers and not
I know. I'm working on it. I say that to say, what I got from that scene was a little bit of both. I got from that where on one hand, it's over because they're all going their separate ways. They've all accepted that they were successful in defeating Vecna and everything else. What I also got from that was this was 10 years running. Yeah. We grew up with these kids. Yeah, they're all adults now. So it was almost like they're paying homage to them of finally putting it up on the shelf because now they're moving on to new chapters in their life.
When the show first came out, I was telling my wife, like, wow, we were either living in our apartment or we just bought our first house, and our kids weren't even born yet. And our kids are 8 and 5 years old. Like so much has happened, and it's not the fault of Netflix. It's you've had writer strikes, you've had a pandemic, and all kinds of things that have come across that have stopped it from happening. And I'm okay with that because that means they didn't rush it either. They didn't say, "Well, we got to get it done." They said, "Oh, let's just wait and we'll do it when it's right."
Yeah.
And I like to believe that 11 is still alive. I'm one of those. I don't think she died because of the. Some people broke it down. I'm like, okay.
Well, no, she's definitely alive because if you caught what they expressed,
some people think she's dead.
No, that she's alive. Okay, while I'm still remembering, the main topic of our conversation is based on just how Netflix is killing it, and this
is how they're killing it. Look how involved we are.
Yeah, we're submerged in this, but the beauty of it is not only can they focus on a TV series or a cartoon or whatever, even documentaries. And the fact that, as we all know, 50 Cent was a genius of what he did of taking something that was a gold mine and just getting with Netflix and showing us all the real essence of what really went down in these documentary series with
at one point
Diddy himself.
At one point, the 50 Cent documentary got more views than the Stranger Things.
Exactly.
But I'm going to wrap up the Stranger Things, okay? And then we'll move on to the 50 Cent. Listen, they missed a good opportunity when they were talking about the story, and was it Will Sorry, I apologize. I'm drunk. Was it Mike or Will that was the main guy telling what's happening to everybody's future? And he's like,
It was Will.
yeah, and he said the mage came back, which the mage represented 11.
Yes.
To help them.
Well,
win
Mike
the
was
game.
like the main person who's a storyteller. Will is the one that had the connection to Vecna.
Right. Yeah. So regardless, when they're like, somebody said, could she still be alive?
Yes.
Is that really true? Could she really come back? They missed an opportunity to look at the camera and say, well, stranger things have happened. And that would just made it all like just tie in.
Mr. Writer, director over here.
I mean, think about it. Like, stranger things have happened, right?
That would work. It would have worked.
It would have just tied it all together. So anyway, P. Diddy, man. Talk about stranger things.
Wow.
This P. Diddy guy.
Look at this guy. He's on fire today, man.
Did you watch the documentary?
I was confused. I watched the entire thing first off, yes.
I didn't finish it, but I've watched parts and clips.
I was confused at first because the first rumor was Diddy was, shooting all of this for like a resurgence kind of, thing when he comes back.
He really thought he was not going to get.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to get
Then
out.
I heard the rumors of allegedly 50 Cent had a hotel or a house across the street and was able to, get this information, and then found out that once Puff Daddy didn't pay the producers and cameramen of the content, he bought it along with Netflix. So I heard a lot of different things in this.
I think the general consensus is that P. Diddy at some point decided, I'm not paying these guys, and most likely because he knew that it wasn't going in his favor. Just even from public view versus legal. And this is our opinions, by the way.
Of course, yes, it's all opinionated.
Yeah.
It just, I get confused because if you saw most of it or all of it, there was parts in there where, okay, does this mean that the guys that originally was being interviewed decided to now talk about real stuff? Because you can tell there was a shift in the conversation of what was really happening, especially in the last episode.
As somebody who does video producing and look into that stuff, I know probably what happened is they have so much footage.
Yes.
And you can edit footage to sound a certain way just by the music you put on it, just by the parts of what they say and what you use.
That's good.
So they could have made it sound happy-go-lucky, or they could have just took it and say, no, let's.
It reminds me of, I'm sure you saw it too, the infamous Vince McMahon documentary.
Yeah.
And how at first it was Vince because he was aware of what was going on, and then obviously when all the allegations happened, and then he could no longer be interviewed, they put the caption of what was really going on. Then it kind of segued into now this kind of raw, organic interviews with people, because now they can actually expound on it, if you will, because he's no longer able to be there.
Now I saw one where 50 Cent he did an interview with, was it ABC?
I believe so.
About the documentary. And apparently, and I don't know how true this is, but I like to believe it's true. He only did it with ABC or whichever news organization because he knew that news organization is shown in the jail that P. Diddy is in. So he wanted P. Diddy to see that.
I'm not in the world of 50 Cent and all the different moguls and stuff. All I know is just from growing up listening to hip hop and rap and everything else, and just the whole Eminem thing. There's a lot of artists that say this. You do not want to upset 50. You always want this kind of guy in your corner. And it shows, because if he doesn't like you, you're going to be reminded of that for a very, 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 very long time. And the fact that he is still showing his disdain towards P. Diddy to now is literally ruining his life is insane. In a good way. I mean, no, saying a good way, but more so of you're seeing everything unfold right in front of you.
I think what you're trying to say is somebody's getting the consequences to their actions.
Yes.
I think that's what you mean when you say.
Yes, I do.
That. I think it's good. Netflix keep doing it, and I enjoy watching Netflix. There's things about it I don't agree with, and we've talked about it in some of our other episodes. Mm-hmm. But on a pure entertainment standpoint, if you're a mature adult watching something and you know what you're watching, you can enjoy it.
Yeah. At least I'll leave it at this. At least now we can all be happy that we saw a pay-per-view boxing match where Jake Paul actually got knocked out.
Bye. He's such a jackass.